What's the good word? Been a while, man. Life been happening. Bills to pay, hands to shake. It's been a while, but we back. Welcome back to NOCAPPP. Move a little check-in, man. And I'm officially like in that zone where I'm just say what I'm thinking, say what I'm feeling. Just say what it is. Just we done with like anybody that watches anime, we done with the world building. We just getting right to it. Right. Story time. So I'll notice things about like situations and environments around me, and I'll just be chilling. But I'll see it and I'll notice it and I won't say anything because I want to make sure I'm not tripping. Make sure I didn't just see what I see or saw what I saw. And same thing during conversations, right? Where context clues and like little subtle behaviors that pretty much define nonverbal part of communication. I'm real good with that. Real good. Picking up subtle signs, all of that. Real good. So when I notice something, I'm just chilling, relaxing. And I'll peep and I'll just be like, that's interesting, or that's off. And the common thought that I kept having, or I keep having over and over again, is like, is this real? Like, I told y'all about the story about my worst dating experience or how that went. That was a perfect example of just that moment where you just like, is this life? I'm having a lot of those moments where I'm paying attention to social cues and idiosyncrasies that a lot of people aren't even aware that they have. And it's just like, yo, this is nuts. And then paying attention to just regular happenings that didn't used to be regular. And I'm just flummoxed by it. For example, right? I'm in the gym. I usually go to the gym early in the morning, but if I'm tired, we're going to sleep in. We still going to get to the gym, and then we'll just start work whenever we get out the gym. I'm going in. I'm doing what I do, minding my business. If somebody's staring awkwardly at me, I move around. I make sure, let me go ahead and I don't want no misunderstandings. Let me just go on to this next spot. Or if somebody moves like they scared of me or like they conscious of where I'm at, regardless of whether I speak to them or not. It's just like, yeah, cool. All right, I'll move around. Then there's situations where I'll notice people are leaving. I'm always paying attention to what's going on around me. Just who's where, what's going on. And it's raining today, and rain is cool. I'm like, all right. I see a grown man trying to wait out the rain. I'm like, all right, cool. He had a jacket on, by the way. So mind you, he has a jacket on. I'm like, all right, he'll be all right. I watch this grown man run to the car to try not to get wet. I'm like, maybe he had something real important on him that he didn't want to get wet. Then the next guy's getting ready to leave. Does the same thing, like sprinting to the car. It hit me. I'm just like, this grown ass man running to try not to get wet. Maybe I'm tripping, but I'm like, you're going to get wet regardless. As a man, you're just supposed to deal with it. And then you leaving out the gym anyway, so you already need a shower. I don't know, just it hit me. I'm like, all right, you walking out the gym, and the first thing you think is, ooh, let me not get wet. Let me make it to the car. Some real feminine behavior. I can't get with that. I'm not saying I'm going to slow stroll all the way to the car, but bro, I'm not about to full sprint to the car like I'm trying to protect my weave. Or like I got an outfit on I'm trying to keep. You feel me? Not it. But there are a few situations, right, in life where I'm paying attention to things and I'm just like, there's no way that this is real. There's no way that this is happening. One that's relevant right now is with Jamaica, Category 5 hurricane about to hit. I'm like, so it should be completely understood that global warming is taking effect. Folks just like, oh man, pray for Jamaica. I'm like, you know what the results of this are, right? What you gonna do to help? Nothing. We just gonna pray for them. All right, what are y'all gonna do to prevent it? Because the weather is changing drastically in multiple areas of the earth, and the only response that typically pops up when the next catastrophe hits is praying for you. Like, so we're not invested enough to make changes to correct any of the issues, but we care just enough to send out fake prayers, right? Must be my food, man. Let me go get that in a second. But folks don't even be caring. And then you play the game of you act like you care, but what? And then you'll see it become a trend where everybody cares now. Everybody's talking about it. It's a trending topic. And in my head, it's like watching people just walk through your house and jump off your balcony head first. Instead of closing the door, instead of locking your front door, instead of stopping them, you just watching it and then go, oh my God, every single time. Which is, hold up, that might be my food. Let me be right back. Adjust the camera, boy. Tough little setup, but making sure today is Monday and want to get into some other stuff tomorrow. It's just a check in, but I keep constantly having these like random moments. I'm just like, is this life? Like for real? I'm gonna get into dating here soon, but I just don't want to drag it or just jump into it because it's already oversaturated. But I'll be mid conversation with a young lady and she'll say something, and I'll just be like, "What? You expect what? In exchange for what?" And you think that's an even exchange? Why? And then you get the answer, and then I'm, boom, that moment, I'm just like, is this life? Is this for real? And every time I have one of those moments, I'm just like, I don't know whether to assess the situation for what it is and just lean upon myself and deal with it accordingly, or do I get a second opinion and like, hey man, come check this out, man? Am I tripping, or does it seem as wild as it is? And I used to think I was the only one that was having those moments, but nah, the bigger issue is people are having those moments and just not speaking on them. It's just, wow, that's crazy, but it ain't none of my business. It is your business. And people are finding out the hard way where you wanted to mind your own for so long that now there is no safe space because you let things go way too far. So now there is no place for you to run to try to escape the craziness. The craziness is in every area of life. So you got two options. One, become crazy yourself and participate, or two, you got to acknowledge it as what it is, some crazy shit, and then set them boundaries. When people expect something crazy out of you, like that you dating, and their expectations is some that's unheard of, I let them know, nah, not gonna be able to do it. I'm cool. Whether you are out and about and you in an environment, you just like, this is really how y'all acting. You go to a restaurant, people acting ignorant. You're like, nah, I'm cool. You ain't got to deal with that. We ain't dealing with your kids or other people's kids. That's the big one. It's the real big one. It's fastest generation of parents ever. Simply because they're reaping the benefits, or they reaping what was sown by generation before. And that's usually how it goes, right? One generation makes a decision. The next one is basically the result of that decision. But that second generation is who really has to deal with the consequences. If you start reading to your kids and now they're no longer interested in stories, and now their kids don't even know how to read, that who's really dealing with the consequences? Who's dealing with the bigger ramifications? So you going that this can't be life moment when you had the opportunity to go, boom, this can't be life. Nah, this ain't life. Get that together when you had the opportunity to address it. You got to address it, because otherwise you won't address it, and then now it's normal. I'm going to speak on my age, right? A common is this life moment I have is I'll ride down the street, or I'll be in a grocery store or somewhere socializing, and I'll see like a 15, 16-year-old half naked. I'm just like, ain't no way. Who co-signed that? Who really thought that that was cool? Somebody thought that a sophomore in high school should be walking outside with their butt out. I'm like, that's nuts. And then nobody says anything. The parents don't say anything. And then you don't want to deal with the parents, and you don't want to deal with the entitlement that the child has because the parents enable them. So now you got teen parenting, teen parenthood going up. These kids is graduating with multiple kids and one diploma. Future shot. Like, made your most important life decisions already before your brain was fully developed. Now that's the reality. Didn't have to be, because somebody could have addressed that, is this for real moment? And things could have been totally different. But you don't want to deal with the pushback. Dealing with LGBTQ, when you see somebody who is a grown man with a beard, facial hair, calling himself a woman's name and expecting to be addressed as a woman when you clearly can see that this is not a woman. You deal with that. Like, nah, we're not doing that here. Nah, I'm not participating in your mental illness. That's your delusion. I'm not sharing it. No, you don't. You kick the can down the road, and then now you have women upset that they have to be labeled as cis women now. And now they need separate bathrooms because these men who now acknowledge themselves as women, they can't be in the same bathroom as you. But if they are women, what's the issue? That situation right there, that conversation is funny to me because a lot of things in life are really simple conversations. The truth is never complicated. The truth is always simple. When dealing with like transsexuals and whether to acknowledge it or not, I'm like, if you just watch the behavior, the answer is right there. When you see men who are transitioning as women into women, a lot of them just, hey, I'll be in the women's bathroom. I'll share women's spaces. They're invading women's spaces. But when you see the women who want to transition into men, they need their own space. So the men feel comfortable in the women's bathroom, but the women don't feel comfortable in the men's bathroom. But if you're a man, you feel comfortable in any bathroom. You mentally, and trying to even like word that or say it out loud just sounds stupid. You mentally feel like a man, but your human instinct is saying, nah. Women, same way. Hype it up. Yes, everything goes. I'm an ally. But in the same breath, your human instinct is telling you, yeah, but there need to be boundaries. Only be one. You is or you ain't. Once you deal with that, the results from there are easy. Everything under the sun is simple. And when you keep things simple, you make life easy. When you start to explore the gray area and want to nitpick and want to find the exceptions to every rule, then you find yourself up shit's creek with no paddles. And I've gone through quite a little bit of life where I've had a few of those this can't be life moments. Legit moments where you just sitting down, like, and you got to think about how you feel, or you got to, in that moment, you have to stop yourself and think about what's even occurring right now, because it's so bizarre that you couldn't fathom it happening. Like, there's no way that somebody could be doing that. I went to a restaurant, right, and ordered my food. Like, all right, but cool. I paid for it. I'll wait for it. Get my food. And it was a pizza spot. Get my food. I'm turning around towards the door, about to walk out, open it up. Like, nah, that ain't right. Give it back. I'm like, y'all didn't do my order correctly. That's a problem. Folks legit took it back, tried to recut it, took a skillet out the back to heat up the ingredients, and then tried to dump the ingredients on the twice cut pizza. Another example, which is like, this can't be life. There's no way you messed it up and you think that. But I need my money back, because not playing those games. Boundaries are set. They're expectations. This is how I expect you to behave, because this is the kind of interaction we're having. You can have the same for me. And once you communicate that, then we can choose to interact with each other or not. And if we agree to those terms, you follow those terms. But the terms got to be realistic. They got to make sense. Going back to it, like, if you planning on having a child with your spouse and they hit you with yeah, we can make it, but don't expect me to help you take care of it. Terms don't make sense. So you don't got to agree to it. But if you agree to it, you can't be upset after the fact. Can't try to complain, can't criticize. You made your bed, lay in it. A big term that I never forget. Diddy, man, no bitch assness. It's the most clear-cut phrase I've ever heard. It's no bitch assness. You have the opportunity to set your boundaries. Because life is nothing but a series of traumas. And your life is defined by how you go about dealing with those traumas. It could be negative, it could be positive. Every is this life moment is an opportunity for you to turn that experience into a positive one or into a negative one. Because anytime you get taken aback like that, you can choose to flip out, have a negative reaction, let it escalate into something bigger, or you can take the other approach where you're just like, man, I don't appreciate that, so let's make sure that this isn't a problem again. Majority of the big issues that you deal with, or that we have to deal with as a society, could be dealt with if you dealt with it in that time period. But we in the US, right, we live in a society of people who license to get suspended and they won't deal with it until they get pulled over again. You had a couple of tickets that you could have just paid, or you could have said, that wasn't me. Could have objected to the tickets. No, you didn't. You just kept letting them escalate. Now you got a warrant. Deal with the problem when you have to deal with it. at that time, and everything would be kosher. Super easy. I want to like tiptoe around this dating shit, right? Because man, I have some experiences at my age and how I move around, the different environments I've been in, the different frames of mind I've had in life. I've interacted with quite a few people, and then being able to engage with other counterparts and with peers, folks in my situation or who are also in the dating pool at the same time. It's easy to start to put a potluck of experiences together and start to notice trends and common behaviors and social expectations. It's easy to start to compare notes and figure out what's going on. That's gonna need its own fucking show to go through all of that. Go through what the fuck is the dating pool? What does it look like? What are the rules? Are there rules? Who's getting in it? Is anybody ever getting out? Just the entire framework of dating, because again, family building and reproduction and family structure are the biggest part of human society. Everything is based on hierarchy in your family. What do your grandparents do? What did they do for your parents? What are your parents doing for you? What are you going to allow your kids to do for their kids? That means everything. How they behave, how they expected to behave, what their goals are. That's what shapes society. So when you got folks who are unserious, just out here doing shit, you got folks like, the thing about the dating pool is the only people who really get out are the people who found who they looking for and get out. If you haven't found anybody, you don't truly get out. You just sit off to the side. You sitting on the side of the pool with your feet in the water. Every now and then you might find one that'll completely get out of the pool and just sit over to the side. Very rare. Very rare. So what's the dating pool about? What's wrong with it? Water ain't blue no more. I smell funny. I'm gonna go through all of that sometime this week and address it straightforward, because it's wrong with the water, but at the same time, it ain't even the water. A lot of people just dirty. You supposed to shower before you get in the pool. Supposed to wash your ass. So a lot of people in the pool need towels. You need to wash your ass after you get out the pool. And once you get out the pool, you're supposed to become a lifeguard. This is how it happens. Here's how you maneuver through the water. Here's how you go through safely. Here's how you get out. Once you get out the pool, you're supposed to be on lifeguard status. So address this properly. Or at least if y'all don't do it, I will. Another crazy story on the way out. My personality and how I communicate, I'm very bold and straightforward with myself. Like, I don't cut corners. The harsh realities, hard truths, I don't believe in any of that. There's just the truth and your sensitivity to it. So try not to be sensitive. Deal with the truth for what it is. Deal with life for what it is. And I communicate that the same way. And for folk who don't live that lifestyle, it can come off real uncomfortable. But it is what it is, right? Going back to the global warming conversation, it's only getting hotter. Then between me and you is, I cut my AC off and roll my windows down to learn how to deal with the hot air. You still riding around with AC trying to act like it ain't hot outside. So having that mindset get real uncomfortable. And that's going to be in the stories, because I like to be as blunt as possible. And even if we not meant to be interacting with each other, I still try to give you some game. So the next time you interact with somebody, you got a little bit more insight on what's going on. Each one teach one. Like, even in the dating pool, like, yeah, I'm not attracted to you, you're not attracted to me. We intellectually or morally don't align, but let me pull your coattail on something. Need you to do the same for me. Give me some insight. And it's needed now more than ever, because women don't know what the fuck they want. They don't know who the fuck they want. Y'all out here hungry, but you too scared to hunt. So you trying to play dead, hoping that you can have something catch you instead. You got the rules messed up, so your behavior is messed up, so the results is messed up. But we gonna fix all that. This last thing we need is just some more. Is this real life moments? A lot of this shit ain't real life. It's just delusion spilling over. Catch you soon.
Yeah.